stronger than ever. Heaven wants you to understand that this moment, this exact moment you are reading this, is part of your alignment. Nothing is disconnected. Nothing is accidental. The spiritual world works with precision, like a clock that never loses time. God says He has been preparing you for a shift that will unfold gradually but noticeably. You may feel a strange calm in your spirit even though the message feels intense. That calm is not accidental. That calm is evidence that heaven is speaking. God says the arrival at 3 a.m. symbolizes something deeper than just a car. It symbolizes divine timing, a moment when heaven touches your timeline on earth. The person inside does not come to harm you. They do not come with bad intentions. They do not come to disturb your peace. They come because something they carry, a message, an item, a word, a sign, a connection, is tied to your destiny. God says your fear will try to rise, but it will fail. Your anxiety will try to create negative thoughts, but they will dissolve. Because God's presence is with you, and where God is, fear cannot win. God says you must trust Him more deeply in these coming days. You must pray to Him, not out of fear, but out of connection, out of grounding, out of love, out of spiritual clarity. When you trust God fully, pathways open, burdens lift, and things you once thought were stuck begin to move again. He wants you to know that the spiritual heaviness you felt in recent times was not danger, it was transition. When your life shifts from one divine season to another, your spirit feels the pressure before your mind understands the change. That pressure was not a warning of harm, it was preparation for elevation. God says you are being elevated. You may not see the elevation yet. You may not feel the elevation yet. But heaven has already declared it. And the moment at 3 a.m. is a symbol of that elevation. The car stopping is a sign that what you have been waiting for, answers, direction, clarity, breakthrough, is now coming toward you instead of away from you. It is not something you must chase. It is something that arrives by divine instruction. God says He is proud of you for surviving what was meant to break you emotionally. He says many nights you did not cry out loud, but heaven heard you anyway. You carried private burdens with quiet strength. You doubted yourself sometimes, but you never fully let go of faith. Even when you felt numb, heaven counted it as endurance. Even when you felt tired, heaven counted it as resilience. Even when you felt alone, heaven was beside you. God says nothing will go wrong with you. He repeats this because the enemy tried to whisper lies into your mind. But those lies cannot stand in the presence of divine truth. And the divine truth is that your life is shifting into alignment, not danger. God wants you to know the upcoming moment is safe, blessed, and protected. Heaven has been reorganizing your path. This means certain situations had to be delayed. Certain people had to be removed. Certain conversations had to fall silent. Certain opportunities had to pause. But none of it was loss. None of it was rejection. It was divine redirection. God says He was not delaying your blessings, He was aligning them. You are walking into a phase where everything that once confused you will soon make sense. The sudden arrival at 3 a.m. will be one of the first external signs of the internal transformation happening within your life. It represents the unexpected blessings, the unexpected truths, the unexpected help, the unexpected connections, and the unexpected breakthroughs coming toward you. God says the person inside the car may not speak immediately. They may appear calm or quiet. They may hesitate before stepping out. They may carry something with them that holds significance. They may be someone you do not know well, or someone whose energy feels familiar in a strange way. But God says do not fear, for this moment is protected. Heaven does not bring confusion. Heaven brings clarity. Heaven does not bring danger. Heaven brings alignment. God says the person approaching you has been carrying something unresolved, something they needed to release or deliver or reveal. They did not know how to approach you earlier. They did not know the right timing. They may have been spiritually blocked, emotionally confused, or unsure of how to come toward you. But heaven is guiding them now. They are being nudged by a force they cannot resist. This is why the timing is exact. This is why the moment is divinely scheduled. God says you will not be harmed. Nothing will go wrong. You are safe. You are protected. And you are deeply loved by heaven. In the spiritual realm, angels have been circling your environment with increased vigilance. This is not because danger is near, but because breakthrough is. When a blessing is on the way, heaven increases your protection to ensure nothing interferes. That spiritual pressure you felt was not a threat, it was divine reinforcement. God says you are entering a season where divine messages will come to you more clearly. You will feel things before they happen. You will sense shifts before they manifest. You will know when something is right, and you will know when something is wrong. Your intuition will sharpen. Your spiritual senses will expand. The moment at 3 a.m. is the beginning of this awakening. God says your prayers have been heard. Even the ones you spoke silently, even the ones you whispered in exhaustion, even the ones you prayed without words. Heaven understands your heart more deeply than you imagine. And because of this, God is answering you in ways you did not expect. Heaven says you will soon feel relief, a type of relief that will wash over you like warm light. Something heavy inside you will release. Something that held you emotionally tight will loosen its grip. Something that blocked your path will dissolve quietly. You will suddenly feel lighter. You will breathe differently. You will wake up with clarity you have not felt in months. God says trust Him. Trust the timing. Trust the signs. Trust the protection around you. Trust that nothing is going wrong, everything is aligning. the moment at 3 a.m. will change something small at first, but that small change will ripple through your destiny in powerful ways. You will not panic. You will not fear. You will recognize that something divine is unfolding. And your spirit will respond with calm assurance. God says this is urgent because He doesn't want your mind imagining negative outcomes. He wants your spirit steady, your heart peaceful, and your trust strong. Do not let anxiety create stories that are not from heaven. The divine message is simple: you are safe, nothing will go wrong, and God Himself is guiding this moment. Heaven says this moment is not the end of something, it is the beginning. A new phase, a new alignment, a new clarity, a new blessing, a new direction, a new version of you who walks with deeper strength and divine confidence. God says, rest assured, you are safe. Nothing will go wrong with you. Trust God. Pray to Him. Allow your heart to receive the peace that heaven is sending right now. Something beautiful, something gentle, something divinely timed is coming toward you. And heaven is smiling because you are ready for it. More is coming. More clarity. More answers. More protection. More blessings. And God says this time, nothing will interrupt what He has planned for you. You are not alone. You never were. And tonight, heaven will prove it. God says this message is only for you, and He is speaking directly into the depth of your spirit right now. He says you have been sensing something unusual around you these last few days. A kind of spiritual pressure, a strange shift in the energy of your surroundings, but you could not understand what it was trying to reveal. You thought it was just your mind playing tricks on you, but God says no, it was Him preparing your heart for the message you are about to receive. This message is urgent, it is divine, and it is meant only for you because your soul has been chosen for something extraordinary. You may not feel ready, but heaven has already gone ahead of you. Angels are standing around you even as you read this. Archangel Michael has positioned himself at your right side because this moment carries spiritual weight. God says a car will stop at exactly 3 a.m. And the presence inside will not be something ordinary. Before fear tries to enter your heart, God says, do not be afraid. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are covered. You are safe. My hand is on your life, and nothing formed against you can cross the line I have drawn around you. This is not a warning to frighten you, this is a revelation to prepare you. Because God says your destiny is shifting, your protection is increasing, and the spiritual realm is aligning you with something that has been hidden for a very long time. God says that for a while now, you have been fighting battles that no one else knows about. Silent battles. Emotional storms. Unexpected heaviness that came out of nowhere. People around you thought you were fine, but heaven saw your tears. Heaven saw your tiredness. Heaven saw the nights when you could not sleep well, the nights you kept waking up, the nights you felt watched, the nights you felt something was moving in the unseen. God says those nights were not random. The spiritual world was trying to get your attention, but now God Himself is giving you the clarity you have been waiting for. Someone connected to your life, not necessarily someone you know well, has been spiritually thinking about you. Not with harm, not with evil, but with intense energy. Their heart has been restless. Their soul has been led toward you. They have been feeling a pull to come near you because God is bringing something to light that has been hidden in the shadows. The car that stops at 3 a.m. represents a moment of divine revelation, a moment where something that was in the dark is moving into the light. It is not danger. It is not harm. It is not trouble. God says it is a sign, a confirmation, a spiritual alignment that will mark the beginning of something new. You have been asking God for clarity about certain people, certain situations, and certain energies around you. You have been confused about someone's intentions. You have been feeling like something is off, but you couldn't explain it. God says He heard your confusion, and He is sending you a message that explains what has been happening behind the scenes. The person connected to that 3 a.m. moment has been carrying a truth, a message, a sign, or even a feeling that is tied to your destiny. They have been spiritually drawn toward you because heaven is orchestrating something you cannot yet see. God says this moment is not random. It is not coincidental. It is not a threat. It is a sign of protection. A sign that angels are in full control. A sign that God's timing is surrounding you like a shield. You may have noticed small hints lately, like sudden chills, sudden thoughts that appeared in your mind out of nowhere, a strange awareness of the time at night, or waking up at specific hours without understanding why. God says these were signals from the spiritual realm. Gentle nudges to let you know something was aligning. Even when you felt unsure or uneasy, heaven was already at work guarding every step before you even knew you needed protection. God says you are not alone. You have never been alone, not even for a second. God says the car stopping at 3 a.m. is a symbolic event, a spiritual event, a moment that shows heaven is alert even when the world sleeps. Angels do not sleep. God never sleeps. And your soul is so valuable to heaven that even the smallest movement around you is monitored and guarded. God says someone who has been spiritually connected to you has been wanting to speak, wanting to confess something, wanting to show something, or wanting to reveal something, but they have been afraid. They have been hesitant. They have been carrying a heaviness of their own, unsure how to approach you or what to say. Their heart has been unsettled. Their mind has been restless. Something about you keeps pulling them back. Something about your energy keeps reminding them of unfinished spiritual business. God says this person is not an enemy, even if you felt confused about their intentions. They simply carry a message they have not yet had the courage to deliver. God says the night is a powerful time, a quiet time, a time when the spiritual world speaks the loudest. The reason the car arrives at 3 a.m. is because your spirit is most open at that hour. Your intuition is sharpest, your angels are closest, and your soul is most alert. God says this is not a physical threat, it is a spiritual visitation, a moment where heaven reveals something gently, without fear and without danger. You are protected. You are covered. You are safe. God says He knows you have been worried lately. You may not say it out loud, but your spirit has been carrying tension. You feel like something is shifting around you. You feel like something is moving. God says yes, something is shifting. But the shift is for your protection, your elevation, and your restoration. Nothing will harm you. Nothing will come near your home with bad intentions. Angels are stationed at every corner. God has already checked the spirit of anyone who approaches you. Nothing enters your space without heaven's permission. God says you are stepping into a new spiritual season. A season where signs become clearer. A season where messages become louder. A season where your intuition becomes stronger. A season where your connection to heaven becomes more direct. He says you have prayed for guidance, and now guidance is coming, not in the way you expect, but in the way your soul needs. God says that the car at 3 a.m. represents a turning point. A moment where heaven confirms that your path is being protected and your destiny is being realigned. It represents the ending of one spiritual cycle and the beginning of another. It represents something that is leaving your life and something new that is entering. God says do not fear what is leaving, it has completed its purpose. And do not fear what is entering, it is guided by Him. You have been drawn to spiritual messages lately because your soul has been hungry for divine confirmation. You have been looking for signs, searching for reassurance, craving clarity. God says He is giving you that clarity now. The restlessness you felt was your spirit sensing the shift before your mind understood it. God says you are safe. No matter what you see, no matter what you hear, no matter what tries to approach your energy, nothing can break the spiritual barrier surrounding you. Every angel assigned to you is alert. Archangel Michael stands guard. You are not in danger. You are being guided. God says the car at 3 a.m. is not a threat, it is an indication that the spiritual world has been active around you. Not to harm you, but to protect you. To guide you. To warn you of things you need to avoid and to draw you toward things meant for your blessing. Someone inside that symbolic car represents a message that is traveling toward your life, something meant to be revealed. Something that will lift a weight you have been carrying. Something that will make sense of what has been confusing your heart. God says trust His timing. Trust His protection. Trust His presence. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. You are watched over. You are surrounded by divine light. You are not vulnerable. You are not exposed. You are protected by a shield stronger than anything in the physical world. God says breathe. Relax. Release the worry. Heaven has already gone ahead of you. What approaches you is not danger, it is destiny. And you are covered by the one who never sleeps, the one who never abandons, the one who holds your life in his hands. God says this is an urgent message for you, a message carried with a trembling light, a message that feels like it is arriving at the exact moment your soul needs it most. You have been sensing something shifting around you. Something you cannot quite explain, and tonight heaven leans close to whisper what your heart has been waiting for. God says that nothing will go wrong with you, that His hand is already around you like a shield, and even when you feel shaken or unsure, you are not abandoned for a single second. There is a divine movement happening around your life, a movement that has been building quietly behind the scenes, and you are about to understand why certain delays, certain pauses, and certain moments of confusion were actually divine protection wrapped in disguise. If you believe me, type Amen. God says, my child, be still for a moment. Something extraordinary has unfolded behind the scenes, something you did not ask for, something you never even imagined could be connected to your destiny. A shift has happened, quietly, silently, without noise, without warning. And tonight, I am revealing it to you because it belongs to you, because it was always meant for your hands, because heaven has moved on your behalf. You have felt for a long time that life has been unfair to you. You have carried questions inside your heart, questions that nobody could answer. You wondered why certain blessings seemed delayed, why certain people took what belonged to you, why your efforts were ignored. And yet, even in those darkest moments, you stayed humble. You stayed patient. You stayed connected to the whisper of faith that kept you alive. God says, I saw all of that. I saw every tear, every disappointment, every betrayal, every moment when you wanted to give up but didn't. Those moments have become the keys to your breakthrough. Those moments have built the spiritual gates through which your abundance is now entering. Tonight, heaven is lifting the veil from something that has been hidden from you for a long, long time. A property, yes, a physical location, has shifted into your name. Not by human hands. Not by legal tricks. Not by earthly decisions. The shift occurred in the spiritual realm first. And now the physical world is catching up to it. God says, I am about to show you the location. When you see it, you will understand why certain seasons of your life felt strange. You will understand why I separated you from certain people. You will understand why you were kept away from certain paths. It was because I was preparing a place for you, literally. For years, this property was surrounded by confusion. Arguments. Hidden intentions. People tried to control it. People tried to claim it. People tried to keep it away from you. Some even lied. Some forged stories with their words. Some spoke your name in rooms where you were not present, hoping to remove you from what was promised. But God blocked every attempt. God says, they thought they won. They thought their plans succeeded. They thought you were blind to their schemes. But while they plotted, I was rewriting documents in the unseen realm. While they whispered about you, I was shifting ownership. While they worked against you, I worked for you. And my work cannot be undone. The shocking part is this: the property is not far away. It is not a distant land. It is not something you will struggle to reach. It is connected to your destiny in a way you will understand only when your feet touch the ground. The location will surprise you, because deep inside, you have walked past this place before. You have sensed something around it without knowing what it meant. You have crossed paths with its energy without realizing it was already tied to your name. God says, my child, I hid it from you until the right time, because if you had known too early, the enemy would have tried harder to steal it. I waited for the moment when no weapon could prosper, no tongue could rise against you, no force could interfere. That moment is now. That season is here. There is something powerful happening around you right now, something you cannot see with your physical eyes. Angels are rearranging things. Documents are being corrected. Old energy is being removed. New favor is being installed. You may feel a strange pull inside your chest, a sudden shift in your intuition, or a feeling as if something huge is about to happen. That is not your imagination. That is